Hey everybody, Jeff Zahler. Welcome to episode 16 of ZP Live. I think that's the show name we're going to actually go with. Obviously, want to start off today's show with a little bit of the somberness of what's gone on. In light of the tragedy, we all are one community here, and it's a saying that I say constantly. I know a lot of other people say it, but it is a big city. Las Vegas is a big city, but it's a small town, and if you weren't directly affected by it, you probably do know somebody out there that was. But as a community, we're all going to strive and thrive. And we've seen what has already happened with people donating blood or donating time or money or just a place to stay or a hot meal. And that's really what community is. And we really strive for a community here with Zahler Properties. But it's such a horrible situation. It just shows you how amazing people have responded to it. With that being said, we do have a friend that has set up an event or a page that she sells T-shirts, and they've created a custom T-shirt with a heart, and it says Vegas Strong on it. That's the link that you actually see in the live here, but I definitely recommend everybody who can go out to the website. It's t-shirt.fund/Vegas Strong. Great looking T-shirt. It's a great product, and it's obviously for a wonderful cause. So check that out. Shout out to our very good friend and past client for setting something like that up. We all come together and do what we can in our own part. So wanted to make sure I talked about that today first and foremost. If anybody has any questions or needs anything, please, we're all a community. Reach out to us, reach out to family, reach out to friends. As I posted on my personal page, things can happen quickly. We can never know when things are going to happen. So, tell your loved ones you love them. Give that extra little hug, because you never know when something like this can happen. And hopefully, we all get stronger because of that as a community. So, with that being said, did want to bring up a topic today. One of the topics that we have discussed before, but again, the market's still really hot, so it's a relevant topic, is you want to look for a house. You need to probably sell your house, but you don't know which way to start. We've worked and talked with a lot of clients who know they need to sell their house in order to buy a new house, but really don't want to start the whole sales process of their current home until they find the right home. And when just thinking about it, and I can understand being in that situation, of course, you don't want to unsettle the situation you're currently in before you find the right house. There are ways to combat that, but really what we're dealing with is such a hot market that you're going to really have to try to commit, and you're going to really have to commit to selling your house in order to be able to be taken seriously to write an offer on another home, especially if you have to sell your home to buy another home. Now, there are some of us out there who may not have to sell their home, their current home. They may be able to qualify for a mortgage. They may be able to pay cash or whatever. If that's your situation, of course, this doesn't really necessarily relate to you in that regard. But for most of us who are buying homes with a loan, where the mortgage company has basically said that you can't hold both mortgages at the same time, this is kind of for you. So we all know you want to start with the buy in mind, right? You want to start thinking of where you're going, not where you were. So you say, look, I want to find the perfect home. So what we can do, yes, we can write the offer, and we can submit an offer on a home of your dreams and say, here's a great offer. We're offering full price, but by the way, it's contingent upon the sale of my client's current home. I don't care if we write a full price offer. If everything's great, a good agent will say, well, is their home currently listed? And if I say no, that doesn't make your offer look like a strong offer, right? You're saying, well, if this happens, we'll do this. Whereas we're in such a strong market that a seller usually has multiple offers on their home. And I don't care how high of an offer we submit. If your home's not on the market, it doesn't look like you're necessarily serious about really selling your property. So the biggest and easiest way to do that is to get your home on the market. I always say you don't have to accept any offer, but you having your home on the market shows you are at least taking the right proper steps to do so. So there's that option. The other option is, okay, if I'm worried about getting the right offer and not finding the house in time, what do I do? Again, working with a team of professionals like ourselves, If you're serious about finding a home, we'll find you a home in that time frame. If you feel like you need a little bit longer of a time frame, but you get a great offer, there's a couple things we can do. You can ask for a longer escrow period, which gives you more time to find something, or you can even ask for what's called a rent back. You may say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, there's willing to buy my home. Thank you so much. We're going to take great care of the home. We would like to close the sale of our home, and we would like to stay in the home for 30 days or so while we finalize the sale of our purchase. You're seeing that more and more often in this type of market, so that is also an option. You'd have to find the right buyer who's comfortable with that, but again, if a buyer loves your home enough, they're really probably willing and able to do things like that. The other thing that you can do is just make sure you're constantly, again, working with a professional and putting this all together. Selling one home is task enough, right? There's 1,000 things to worry about. Trying to buy and sell a home together does become a logistical nightmare if you don't do this for a living. So let a professional like ourselves really help with that, right? We can kind of put a plan together, all together. Not, don't treat it as two transactions, but treat it as one full transaction to get you from one home into another with a sale in the middle. We do it all the time. That's kind of what we specialize in. We like the challenging situations. And the other thing to think about is if you're moving up, say like this is an upgrade. Say like you are moving into something that's bigger that may be on a slightly higher price point. That could be a good advantageous time for you on this. We know the price point under $300,000 to sell, things are selling almost instantly. They have multiple offers, what have you. Now, as you go into that $400,000 and higher price range, things are still moving quickly, but they're not moving as fast. So you may be able to have that perfect situation where you are selling in a super, super hot market and buying in a warm market, if you will. So you may have more options. Things may not be going as fast. And you know what? You may be able to find that opportunity time where the seller of a higher price point may be able to say, hey, you know what? We'll be fine with the contingent sale kind of thing. That's another option. Again, it's putting the plan together and knowing that this is common, right? And know that, hey, you as a homeowner, like most of us, aren't in a position that you can hold two mortgages at the same time, right? So don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like you're ashamed of it. I know I couldn't do it, and I know most people can't hold two mortgages at once. That's part of the position that we had 10 years ago when a lot of the lenders in lending laws were so laxed that a lot of people were able to do that kind of thing. Lending has gotten such as where it's much more tight that it's really hard to do that unless you can fully qualify to hold two loans. Even with the assumption that you're going to sell it, a lender doesn't really go onto those assumptions anymore. So it's a really, kind of an important topic, kind of a topic that we're seeing with some of our clients right now. I know Misty, our buyer's agent, is working with a handful of buyers that are in very similar situations where they're finding that house of their dreams, but they're not quite ready to put their home on the market until they see what happens on that home. And we really just need to kind of educate and explain why that may not make sense for you when your offer is up against other offers. So that's really it. That's kind of the topic of the day. We can discuss anything like this with you. Please give us a call, 702-758-4699. Send us an email to info@zahlerproperties.com. You can message us on this Facebook page. You can, comments below, and we'll definitely get back to you. But it's a really important topic. It definitely helps. And again, going back to the whole the tragedy that happened Sunday evening, we do encourage you to visit that website that we have put in the comment section above. And if you can give, it's a great cause, and you get a pretty cool T-shirt out of it. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Everybody have a great week. Stay safe. Hug those that you love and tell them you love them. Till next week. Bye-bye.